Hello. Today I want to talk about if women should have sex with their husbands when they don't feel like it. I've been accused of promoting marital rape, and women frequently ask me, should wives have sex when they don't feel like it? Like, brother, wives should not have to have sex when they feel like it. No, they should not. This is the thought process of most women today. Well, let's just ponder this a little bit. Should your husband go to work every day and work hard and provide for his family if he doesn't feel like it? Should you not prepare your children food because you don't feel like it? Let's say your refrigerator is bare. Should you not go shopping because you just don't feel like it? Should you not clean the toilet ever? Because, ew, that's just a gross job and you just don't feel like it. And you could just go, if you all were sitting in a classroom in front of me, we can go on and on and on about all the things that we do in life that we don't feel like doing. And how come sex is this sacred cow to most women, and if they don't feel like having sex with their husbands, they should not have sex with their husbands. And by the way, how could I promote marital rape when I don't teach men? I've never once ever said or written, yes, men, rape your wives. Take sex from them whenever you want. I have never said that. I don't teach men. I only teach women. I teach women what the Bible commands. The Bible commands that we do not deprive our husbands of sexual intimacy. This is from God. It's not from me. And if you want to have a miserable life, lazy life, then you live your life by your feelings. You don't feel like giving your husband sex for a year? Then go, fine, don't give your husband sex for a year, but see how great your marriage is after a year. We live our lives by doing what's right, by obeying God, even when we don't feel like it. Yes, and that even includes sex. How long does it take? One woman wrote me and asked me if her husband had raped her because she had told him she didn't want to have sex. And when she woke up in the middle of the night, he was having sex with her. So she wanted to know if that was marital rape. And I said, well, do you feel like you need to call the police and have him locked in jail? Because if true rape is when you're assaulted and against your will by some stranger, and you feel like he's worthy of being put in prison, yes. No, she doesn't want to call the authorities and put him in jail because he woke her up in the middle of the night and was having sex with her. In fact, my husband was telling me sometimes men just, in the middle of the night, there's a woman, their wife, laying next to them, and they just start wanting to have sex with them. And they're not completely woken up, they're not thinking straight, they just have this need to want sex, and so they start having sex with their wives. Now at this point, the wife can either say, honey, I'm just really tired, how about in the morning? Or go along with it and have a great time. Sometimes those are the best times, Often when we obey God instead of what we want, that's where we find the blessings. And so when you clean your toilet, you have the blessing of a clean toilet. When you're not depriving your husband, you have a blessing of a husband that's very happy with you for not depriving him. And when your husband goes to work, even though he doesn't feel like it, he has a blessing of receiving a paycheck. So instead of living our lives by our feelings and our want-tos, let's live our lives by being obedient to God and doing what He calls us to do, even when we don't feel like it. As a new mother, you wake up every couple hours to nurse your baby, even though you don't feel like it all, you're exhausted, but you do it because you love your baby. And this is how we should be with our husbands. We are to be husband lovers. We want to satisfy them sexually. They can't have sex with anybody else. We live in a highly sexualized culture. You go anywhere, you see immodestly dressed women, and in the supermarkets, you see just everywhere they're assaulted by sexuality and scantily clad women. They should be able to have sex with their wives when they want it. It doesn't take much time or effort even, but it makes them happy. And this is what God calls us to do as their helpmeet women. So don't live your life by your feelings. Instead, live your life in obedience to the Lord, because you love your husband, because you love the Lord God Almighty, and He's worthy. You know, He calls us to deny ourselves, and Paul says that He disciplines His body for the purpose of godliness. Discipline your body for the purpose of godliness. Don't do just what you want, you feel like doing. Do the right thing. So anyway, stop depriving your husband, and let's not talk about marital rape. Me teaching marital rape, because I don't. Me teaching women to not deprive their husbands sexually does not promote marital rape. It's funny how they like to twist things and make everything so ugly. All the things that God calls good, they like to make ugly, but it's good. Not depriving our husbands sexually is very, very good. Bye-bye.